Have you ever had the strange feeling that your life could have gone in a completely different direction if only you had made one small choice differently? Maybe you took a certain job instead of another. Maybe you stayed in a relationship or walked away. Maybe you missed a flight, and that delay set in motion a chain of events you'll never forget. Now imagine, what if both paths actually happened? What if, somewhere, there exists another version of you, living out the life you didn't choose? This is not just the stuff of science fiction. It is one of the most fascinating questions in modern physics. Does the multiverse exist? The first clue, a shocking experiment. To explore this question, we have to revisit one of the strangest and most important experiments in science, the double-slit experiment. Physicists discovered that when particles, like electrons, are fired at a barrier with two openings, something bizarre happens. If no one is watching, the particles act like waves, interfering with each other and creating patterns, as if they are in many places at once. But the moment scientists observe them, the particles collapse into a single path, choosing one slit or the other. It's as if reality itself waits for an observer before deciding what to become. This experiment shook the foundations of physics. It suggested that the universe is not fixed, but exists as a cloud of probabilities until awareness steps in. And here's where the multiverse idea begins to creep in. If every possibility exists before collapsing, then maybe all outcomes happen, but in different universes. Schrödinger's cat, life and death, in parallel. To make sense of this, physicist Erwin Schrödinger offered his famous thought experiment. Imagine a cat in a box with a quantum trigger that can release poison. Until someone opens the box, the cat is both alive and dead, existing in two states at once. The multiverse interpretation says this isn't just imagination. When the box is opened, the universe splits. In one universe, the cat is alive. In another, it is dead. Now apply this to yourself. Every decision, every chance event, every moment of your life could be branching off into infinite timelines. Somewhere, another you is still living in your childhood home. Another is traveling the world. Another made the move you were too afraid to make. Another didn't survive the accident you narrowly escaped. The butterfly of infinite choices. Think about it. How many yous could there be? Physics suggests an almost unimaginable number. If reality splits at every quantum decision, then the multiverse holds countless variations of your existence. It's like a cosmic library, where each book tells the story of your life, but with different choices, different endings. And if this sounds overwhelming, it is. But it's also deeply empowering. Because if infinite versions of you exist, then the boundaries of what's possible might be far larger than you ever imagined. Science meets imagination. Skeptics often say the multiverse is impossible to prove, that it belongs more to philosophy than to science. But consider this. Many of the greatest breakthroughs in science began as radical ideas once dismissed as fantasy. The theory of relativity, the idea of invisible germs, the concept of quantum mechanics itself, all were once ridiculed. Today, leading physicists like Hugh Everett, who first proposed the many worlds interpretation in 1957, argue that the multiverse is the most logical explanation of quantum reality. Even Stephen Hawking entertained the idea, saying that the multiverse is a scientific possibility. So, what does this mean for you? Here, now, listening to this? The personal connection. The multiverse isn't just a scientific theory. It's an invitation to look at your own life differently. Think of the times you said, "What if?" What if I had spoken up? What if I had taken that chance? What if I had loved more boldly? In a multiverse, those what-ifs aren't just regrets or daydreams. They are real. They exist somewhere. And the version of you who took that leap is out there, living it. That doesn't mean you can step through a portal and meet them, but it does mean something profound. Reality may be far more flexible, more open, and more mysterious than we've been taught. The door has opened. So here we are, standing at the doorway of one of the greatest mysteries in science and spirituality. If infinite versions of you exist, if every choice you make creates a ripple of new universes, then what does that say about who you are? About destiny? About free will? This is just the beginning, because in the next chapter, we'll explore what it means not only to imagine the multiverse, but to influence which reality you step into. What if, with your awareness, you could choose the universe you want to live in? That's where our journey continues. When science attempts to measure reality, it often runs into boundaries that challenge everything we think we know. One of the most famous experiments in physics, the double-slit experiment, revealed that particles behave differently when observed. Matter seems to exist in multiple states at once until consciousness collapses it into a single outcome. This experiment has led many scientists to wonder, does our awareness not only perceive reality, but also select it from countless possibilities? Adding to this puzzle are the stranger near-death experiences, glimpses beyond one reality. In hospitals across the globe, patients who have been clinically dead for minutes describe remarkably similar experiences. They speak of leaving their bodies, seeing doctors work on them, and even traveling through tunnels of light into entirely different realms. What makes these accounts extraordinary is not only their consistency, but also the verified details patients recall. Details they could not have known without consciousness existing beyond the body. Could it be that near-death experiences are not just hallucinations, but actual glimpses into parallel realities? Places where consciousness continues when it separates from the physical body? Déjà vu, the echo of another self. Then there is déjà vu, the eerie sensation that you have lived this exact moment before. Neuroscience explains it as a glitch in memory, but many spiritual traditions and quantum interpretations suggest otherwise. What if déjà vu is your awareness brushing against another version of yourself, in a universe only slightly different from this one? A reality where the same conversation unfolded before, or where a slightly altered chain of events occurred. Instead of being a mental error, déjà vu may be a subtle reminder that we are not confined to a single timeline. It may be the mind's way of sensing the overlap of worlds. Out-of-body experiences and lucid dreams. Closely related are out-of-body experiences, OBEs, and lucid dreams. People who enter these altered states describe traveling to places they have never visited, meeting beings they cannot explain, or even watching their sleeping body from above. Some have even reported gaining knowledge that was later verified to be real. In a purely materialist worldview, these accounts should not be possible. But when viewed through the lens of the multiverse, they take on a new meaning. Dreams, OBEs, and even deep states of meditation might act as portals, windows into neighboring dimensions of existence. Science catches up. Remarkably, certain branches of physics are beginning to align with these mystical accounts. The many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics, proposed by Hugh Everett, suggests that every possible outcome of a quantum event actually occurs, spawning countless parallel universes. In this framework, another version of you exists right now, making a different choice, living a different story. When combined with human experiences like NDEs, déjà vu, and OBEs, a provocative picture emerges. Consciousness may not be tied to one body or one timeline, but may instead move fluidly across realities. This raises profound questions. If dreams and near-death states are windows into the multiverse, what else might we access if we learn how to intentionally shift awareness? Could meditation, frequency, or intention allow us to step consciously into another version of ourselves? The evidence suggests that our minds are not limited to this single plane. And if that is true, then the multiverse is not just a theory. It may be an everyday reality waiting for us to notice. When most people hear the word multiverse, they immediately think of science fiction or superhero movies. But hidden beneath the surface of imagination lies a startling truth. Modern physics and cosmology are beginning to take this idea seriously. The universe may not be a single, closed system. Instead, it may be one of countless universes, each with its own beginning, its own laws, and perhaps its own versions of us. One of the first scientific hints comes from the afterglow of the Big Bang itself, the cosmic microwave background radiation. This faint glow, still detectable in the night sky, is like the universe's baby picture, taken when it was only 380,000 years old. For decades, cosmologists studied this radiation to understand how our universe began. But some researchers noticed anomalies, strange cold spots, and irregularities that could not be explained by standard models. One radical interpretation is that these anomalies might be the scars of collisions with other universes, like ripples overlapping on the surface of a cosmic ocean. If true, our universe has already brushed against others, leaving behind a subtle but permanent signature. Another powerful idea comes from inflation theory, proposed by physicist Alan Guth in the early 1980s. According to this theory, in the very first fractions of a second after the Big Bang, the universe expanded faster than the speed of light, an unimaginably rapid inflation. But inflation may not be a one-time event. Instead, it could be eternal, producing endless bubble universes within an infinite cosmic foam. We live in just one bubble, separated from others by vast gulfs of space and time. In this picture, the multiverse isn't just possible, it's inevitable. Every bubble could contain different physical constants, different particles, even different dimensions of reality. Laboratory experiments, though less dramatic, also push us toward this possibility. Particle accelerators like CERN's Large Hadron Collider have probed the fundamental building blocks of matter. Some theories predict that high-energy collisions could reveal extra dimensions, or hidden universes, just beyond our perception. While no direct evidence has yet emerged, the search continues, fueled by the belief that reality may be far stranger than the four-dimensional world we experience. Even string theory, one of the most ambitious attempts to unify all of physics, suggests a multiverse. The equations don't point to one unique solution for the universe. They allow for a vast landscape of possibilities, each corresponding to a different cosmos. This is sometimes called the string landscape, a staggering infinity of universes that may coexist, each governed by slightly different laws of nature. For many scientists, the idea of the multiverse raises uncomfortable questions. If infinite universes exist, then almost anything that can happen will happen. There may be versions of Earth where history unfolded differently, where civilizations rose and fell in alternate timelines. There may be versions of you living lives you can barely imagine, some better, some worse, all real in their own way. But the most haunting question is this: how would we ever know? If these universes are sealed away, inaccessible from ours, can we ever prove their existence The answer may lie in subtle traces, anomalies in the cosmic microwave background, unexplained alignments in the structure of the cosmos, or perhaps one day, evidence of universes bleeding into ours through quantum entanglement. For now, the multiverse remains on the edge of science and mystery, a theory both breathtaking and unsettling. Yet it continues to draw us in because it forces us to confront the possibility that reality is bigger, stranger, and more infinite than we ever dared to believe. And if the multiverse is real, then your life, your choices, your very existence is not a singular thread, but part of an endless tapestry woven across countless worlds, the multiverse within you. What if I told you that every choice you've ever made still exists? Not as a memory, but as a living reality. Think about it. The version of you who moved to a different city. The version of you who said yes instead of no. The version of you who followed a dream. Or the version who let it fade. All of them are still out there. Not just in imagination, but as possibilities, woven into the very fabric of the multiverse. Science may present the multiverse as vast cosmic landscapes, endless bubble universes stretching beyond our reach. But what if it's also something far more personal? Something you can feel within your own mind. Every déjà vu you've experienced. Every dream that felt too real. Every time you've asked yourself, what if my life had gone differently? Could these moments be glimpses into those other selves? A thin veil between your timeline and the countless others. And here's where it becomes even more fascinating. Quantum physics teaches us that observation, the act of consciousness itself, can alter outcomes. You are not just watching reality unfold. You are participating in its creation. So what does this mean for you? It means the multiverse isn't only a cosmic theory. It's a mirror. A mirror reflecting your own power, your own choices, your own ability to shift between realities. Imagine waking up tomorrow and deciding, I want to step into the version of me who is more confident, healthier, more alive. That shift doesn't begin in some faraway galaxy. It begins in your mind, with your focus, with your intention. Meditation, visualization, even the simple act of choosing a new thought. These become the keys that unlock doors to new versions of you. In that sense, every choice is a portal, every belief is a frequency, and every day you are tuning in to the reality you wish to inhabit. Of course, this doesn't mean we can prove, at least not yet, that you can literally jump into another universe. But it does mean your life is not as fixed as it seems. It means you are constantly shifting, whether you realize it or not. The multiverse is not just out there, it is also in here, within your mind, within your perception, within the infinite possibilities of what it means to be you. So the question becomes, which version of yourself will you choose to align with? The one weighed down by fear, doubt, limitation, or the one already living in the reality you dream of? Because maybe, just maybe, you've already lived that life somewhere in some version of reality. And the only thing standing between you and that version is the choice you make right now. This is where science and spirituality begin to whisper the same truth. That you're not simply a passenger in this vast multiverse. You are a navigator, a creator, a traveler across unseen worlds. And perhaps the most powerful shift is not when you find another universe, but when you realize you've had the ability to create one all along. So I leave you with this. If infinite versions of you already exist, what would happen if you decided today to step into the one who's already living the life you've always dreamed of? Because somewhere out there, that version of you is waiting. And maybe they've been waiting for this exact moment all along. So perhaps the multiverse isn't just a theory of physics. Maybe it is the very fabric of your being. Every choice you make, every thought you hold, every vibration of your awareness might be weaving the path into a different universe. And if that is true, then this moment, right now, is more sacred than we realize. Because by simply shifting your consciousness, you may already be stepping into a new reality. This is only the beginning of a journey into the hidden powers of the mind, the cosmos, and the infinite possibilities that surround us. If you feel the pull to go deeper, to uncover more truths that science and spirit are just beginning to whisper about, then stay with us. Subscribe and join the circle of seekers. Together, we will continue to walk the edge between worlds and perhaps glimpse the infinite